Good morning. It's nice to be with the two of you and everyone who's watching.
Were you lonely when you did the midweek update by yourself?
It took multiple takes to do the midweek update by myself. Yes.
Well, it's good to be together and looking towards this weekend. Just wanted to highlight a couple things for folks. And one is that we have our Food, Fun, and Friends from the Fellowship Commission. We are continuing these on in the new year on the first Fridays again, and we'll have food, and you can bring your favorite game or whatever you might want to provide, or just come and fellowship together. And that is at 6 p.m. this Friday. So if you can let us know, we'll be getting an account together so we know how much food. So feel free to message me or the church office if you are interested in coming in the evening.
Would it be true that there can be 5 people or 15 or 50, but only those numbers?
Or fewer.
Or fewer. Anyway, I'm sure it'll be fantastic.
Yeah. So that is on Friday. And then on Sunday, just letting folks know, we're meeting, having a youth and parents meeting after worship. We'll be meeting in the sanctuary to discuss some options for some different things that are happening in the summer in terms of work camps and National Junior High Conference and Christian Citizenship Seminar, as well as sort of a special option that is available possibly for some different folks in the congregation, as well as the youth and their families. And that's a civil rights trip that Katie Gray Brown is putting together for the end of June. So looking at those options with the youth and parents. So looking forward to that after worship this Sunday.
And looking a week from Sunday, which would be the 15th, we wanted to tell you that we're going to have communion that day. And the last couple of times we've had communion on a Sunday morning, we've come forward for receiving communion. But on the 15th, we're going to go back to passing the trays in the pews. So that will be a familiar way of having communion for a lot of folks. But we just want to give you that heads up that that's coming a week from Sunday.
One of the things that we wanted to be in conversation about with each other and with the whole congregation are the transitions coming up at Timbercrest and how it affects pastoral care. So this is a moment for all of us, no matter where you live, near and very far, to know that we welcome the texts, the emails, the phone calls, letting us know of acute pastoral care needs when someone goes into the hospital. Let your kids know that that they can call us, your adult children who might be stepping in to support you, and you yourself. It's important for us to be able to support you in the way that you want to be supported. Not everyone wants a visit in the hospital, but you might want us to know, and we want to know. So regardless of where you live in Germany or California or Huntington or North Manchester or Warsaw, we care, and that's really a strong desire of ours to receive those bits of information.
I think one thing, Amy, that we want to remind people is that they shouldn't assume that we know. I think sometimes people think, well, somebody must have told you, a friend told you, or in the past, the chaplain at Timbercrest told you, or somehow we just know. I always have said I'd rather hear 2 or 3 times than not at all. Yeah. So, if there's an emergency unfolding in your neighborhood, and it's somebody that's part of our congregation, or somebody in your family, or a close friend, you might ask them, you want me to let the pastor know? And they say, oh yeah, that's great. I don't have to worry about that. But please don't assume that we know. We've talked about this before, but it's worth a reminder, especially when those channels of communication get disrupted because of change and transition.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, Amy, we've put your number in the newsletter. I would say to people, your number, my number, Seth's number, put it in your phone.
Yeah.
Actually enter it into your phone, or have somebody enter it into your phone, so you have easy access. And if you if you reach out, you can text or call. If you can't reach Amy, you can call me or reach me. When trust that when you reach one of us, the other is going to know. So we've talked about that before as well. If you reach one of us, then we can share with the other. So try until you find somebody, or a text is always good, because even if we can't answer the phone in the moment, sometimes we can see it. We might be in a meeting, or might be on the way somewhere, and we can see it and respond. Just little kinds of things I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
And we have deacons too, and those people's numbers are listed in the newsletter week by week.
And we're also in conversation about ways to be together and have different touch points. So one of those is we've been in conversation about resuming pastor luncheons. We used to have those once a month, and so we're at Timbercrest, and so we're talking about if we can resume those, or what that might look like in this landscape in some way for us to have some of those touch points that we have.
Right. That would be good.
Want to remind folks of Alan Kiefaber's memorial service this Saturday at 2 as well.
Yeah.
Mhm. And so to close, I am going to read Psalm 103 out of this book, Psalms for Praying, by Nan Merrill. Ruth Bowman is the one who introduced me to this book. I'm not going to read the whole psalm because it's lengthy, but it is bleak and gray and cloudy where we are, and I don't know what it is where you are in other parts of the world. But winter can be really hard for folks. And so if you are feeling bleak, may this be a blessing, at least in this moment of reading. Bless the beloved, O my soul, and all that is within me. I bless your holy name. Bless the beloved, O my soul, and remember the goodness of love. You forgive our iniquities. You heal our disease. You save us from the snares of fear. You crown us with steadfast love and mercy. You satisfy our every need and renew our spirit like the eagles. Through you comes peace and justice for all who are oppressed. You make known the pathways of truth and guide us on the way. You are merciful and gracious, slow to anger, and abounding in steadfast love. May we receive that from God, and may we be that for one another.